Isolate if they're sick, rather than trying to find those people, because the risk is that if people are fined, might not then get even tested because they're afraid once they get a test not to isolate, and therefore risk infecting other people. So I think we need to be very cautious.
In 300 yards, at Langley roundabout, take the first exit onto the M4 slip road to M25, London.
Is this virus, is COVID-19 the threat that we once thought that it was? It appears to me that the fatality rates have gone down a great deal, and with the use of drugs like remdesivir and dexamethasone, heparin, I think it's baricitinib, is it? All of these...
Exit the roundabout onto the slip road.
Fantastic work. So is COVID-19 the threat that it was?
In a quarter of a mile, merge onto M4. Continue on M4 for 5 miles.
How many vaccine doses are we going to be able to get in people's arms worldwide in the UK even if the vaccine is developed? I mean, are we worried about the method of delivery at this point?
Tomorrow.
miles, at junction 3, take the A312 exit to Harrow, Hayes. Quarter of a mile, at junction 3, take the A312 exit to Harrow, Hayes.
But I've just heard from a very eminent scientist from Imperial that no, we have never had an effective vaccine.
Exit at junction 3.
So what's to make us think we're going to have one now? In other words, I mean, where this is all pointing is we have to live with COVID-19. But the public messaging at the big...
In a quarter of a mile, at the roundabout, take the third exit onto the Parkway, A312.
And now, changing those behaviours, changing those feelings as people are terrified, is going to be very, very difficult. Give me a call at 345 606 0973. Tell me how you, in your life, are going to deal with living with COVID-19. George is in Grantham in Lincolnshire, lovely part of the world. Hello, George.
Morning, Andrew. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you, mate. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Right.
I did actually try and get through to you yesterday, but I think actually on reflection, probably the topics of this morning, although we're still all talking about COVID, much more fitting to the points I was going to hopefully try and make.
Well, get stuck in, George, whatever you want.
I'll try, and I'll start, if I may, firstly with a caveat to say that anything I do say is in no way intended to trivialise the very sad and upsetting loss of life as a result of COVID. I'm in no way a COVID denier, and I completely understand that it's causing huge upset and pain to a lot of people.
Yes.
But I just don't think that these varying degrees of lockdown, which are being experimented all across the world, are in any way yielding the results, or at least sustainable results, to combat this virus.
Exit the roundabout onto the Parkway.
I mean, well, if you look at, I'm not particularly well sorted up on numbers, but I thought, bearing in mind I listen to you guys a lot. And
Continue on the Parkway for 1 mile.
reasonable than the percentages, but sometimes we say, well, give me some numbers then. So if you look at sort of 90% of the deaths have been in people with serious underlying health conditions, of which, and again, not wishing to trivialise that or belittle that, but as in, what so sadly those people have passed, if the percentage of the people catching the virus are not falling into that category of underlying health conditions, then perhaps the recovery rates may be better. There are all sorts, as you know, Andrew, there are all sorts of things, and a couple of your previous contributors who are far more learned and know more about this through their profession than I do, but they're saying that there might not be
an ability to shut ourselves in a box, a completely sealed box, and somehow manage to survive, we could then get into our cars and drive to a doctor's practice or a vaccine clinic to be inoculated and die on the road.
The question, George, is, for me, what is a proportionate response to this second bump, second wave, whatever you want to call it, utterly predictable as we came out of lockdown? What is a proportionate response? And I think the answer to that is that we all have to assess our own risk at the same time as protecting the world. I just don't think there is another way.
That's daily life, isn't it, Andrew? I mean, we all take risks on an everyday basis. Some people are inherently more risk averse than others.
In a quarter of a mile, at Wagoners Roundabout, take the second exit and stay on the Parkway, A312.
Liberties are taken away from us, and we don't have a civil liberty to necessarily break speed limits on the road, but then there are speed limiters, or at least they're not ones that are restricted to the actual speed limits on cars. There are quotas on the amount of cigarettes you can buy. Well, there are, but as in...
No, I take the point. We make decisions about our own safety and our own health and all aspects of our life at all times, apart from now, and it's being taken away, and I'm wondering whether it's the right approach. George, I must leave you. Thank you very much indeed for your call, and all the best. 7:20.
Exit the roundabout onto the Parkway.
7:26 is
Continue on A312 for 1.5 miles.
If you refuse to self-isolate, Sunday people save us from another care home catastrophe. Plea to Prime Minister over fear of second wave of deaths. Sunday Express also going with this new £10,000 fine if you won't self-isolate. It starts at £1,000. Same thing with the Mail on Sunday, £10 fine for leaving house is the way they dramatically put it. Observer are going with the same line, and the Sunday Times, in fact, it's a full house. Sunday Times, £10,000 fine for people who fail to self-isolate. Also on the front page of the Observer and one or two other newspapers as well, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. 1933 to 2020, a very striking picture on the front. Death of revered judge prompts US turmoil. Why US turmoil? We turn to an expert, Charles Feldman, co-host of KNX In Depth and KNX News Radio in Los Angeles. Hello, Charles.
Good morning, Andrew. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Now, Mr. Trump has decided that he is going to try and name a Supreme Court justice, and it's going to be a woman, as I understand it. Is that right?
That is the way I understand it too, and let me talk about that for a minute. You know how in the UK, you guys have some words that you spell slightly differently than we spell, but here you, for example, put the letter U when you spell color. Apparently, in this country, we spell politician Hypocrite, because the hypocrisy is just astonishing. You may recall that in the waning days of the Obama administration, the Republicans in this country said they would not grant Mr. Obama's choice for a replacement on the Supreme Court, because the American public had a right to have the newly elected president, of course that was Donald Trump, select his choice for a nominee. So they didn't grant that, and we went without that position filled for several months. Now, those very same politicians on the Republican side of the aisle are saying, lo and behold, we can't go months now with a vacancy on the Supreme Court. It is with great urgency, they're saying, we need to put somebody, Mr. Trump's choice, on the court ASAP. And so they are saying that Mr. Trump will name somebody probably within the next 5 to 10 days. The Senate Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell, who is a Republican, is saying that there will be a speedy vote in the Senate, and they're hoping to get a replacement right after election.
Yeah, Barack Obama's nominee was Merrick Garland, wasn't it, back in those days? And McConnell may well be guilty of this hypocrisy, but I think an absolute gift for Donald Trump, something else to argue about and to polarize people about. But just before I let you go, Charles, talk to me about Donald Trump's view of TikTok now. I don't know whether you use TikTok. I doubt it.
You doubt correctly. No, I don't, but I know a lot of
In a
people
quarter of a mile, turn right onto Roslyn
There's
Avenue.
a deal that was reached, as you probably know. So Oracle is going to supply the cloud sourcing services for TikTok. Walmart is going to play a role in this too. Together, they are now going to own about 20% of the company. 70%.
Turn right onto Roslyn Avenue, then turn left onto Harlington Road West.
The Chinese company that Mr. Trump objected to begin with. So I'm not quite sure what they accomplished other than allegedly the security is going to be...
Turn left onto Harlington Road West, then your destination will be on the right.
Oracle, even though